Hello, my name is Daniel Schulz from HCU Hamburg, and today I'm going to talk to you about our project, the Cockpit for Social Infrastructure, as a planning support system for municipal planners. Social infrastructure is what secures for the immaterial needs of people, that creates vital communities and ensures a high quality of life and also economic prosperity. This is sports, education, leisure, health, and social work. Since the 1980s and increasingly fast after the digital revolution, we've seen the field of actors that provide these services to people increasingly diversified, ranging from private companies to non-profit organizations or also citizen collectives. Consequently, the city of Hamburg established the task force Quarter Initiative Urban Life, short QUL, in 2017. It was tasked with developing proposals and procedures for designing neighborhoods that do justice to the population growth and increasing diversity. They started drafting a large-scale report about the current status of social infrastructure, focusing hereby on the quarters that can be seen as areas overarching administrative borders. The obvious shortcomings of such a one-time paper report, though, was the time-intensive process of data procurement and gathering. So, in 2018, the committee started exploring the possibility of developing a digital planning and participation tool as a database available to all specialist authorities and district offices. But how should such a tool look like? You encounter the classical problem of all participatory processes. You have a diverse group of people, experts, that focus on different topics, speak a different language, have different workflows, expect different functionality, and work with different data. But they are all equally necessary for the planning process in a complex system as the city is. After all, you want to be able to tackle planning problems from multiple angles without creating new problems by solving others. When we design tools that help with problem solving, we encounter basically two major types of applications. These are planning support systems and expert systems. These differ fundamentally in how they see the role of the user and the system. In expert systems, it's the system that queries the user for input about the problem and then calculates solutions based on its own prior knowledge. And a decision support system, the user queries the system. So the human is in charge and they are who ultimately draw the conclusion. The knowledge is transferred from the application to the user. This works far better in unstructured problems where you don't follow a linear set of rules to reach a certain goal. And this is what is important in our case, as urban development problems are inherently complex, local and non-linear. At the present, there are no sufficiently established models to help automate such a multidimensional problem-solving process. Also, the administration, as a political institution, is held accountable for the outcomes of the planning. And algorithmic solutions, as they just spit out results from a black box, tend to create a false certainty and sense of objectivity that might not be there. So there's understandably a great reservation to introducing new digital tools in the public administration. Not to speak of labor unions or equal opportunity officers, who rightly also have a say in these matters. How do you work in such an environment? It is important to create acceptance, to build an accessible tool that is tailored to the actual workflows of planners and that can be incorporated or consulted in various stages of the planning process. The process we designed looked like this. At first, before starting the actual development, we had a problem definition workshop, developed a prototype as a basis for specifying what the tool should look like, and conducted user story workshops to identify the actual features. And afterwards, we had a sprint committee accompanying the process until the piloting in early 2020. We used the user story workshop to identify the most pressing and recurring themes in planning and to establish the workflow of the future users that we wanted to cater to. These two components, the topics that actually come up in planning and the workflow steps that the planners would follow to solve their problems, we mapped into a matrix together with the data sets that go with them to try to identify the most common functionalities that all topics share. And we rated them based on the number of occurrences. Finally, CoSI entered piloting stage in February 2020. Since then, it has been rolled out throughout the entire city and been made available to all public departments. This piloting stage went together with an evaluation where all users were asked to actually use CoSI in their everyday work routine and provide the city officials of Task Force QOL and the development team with feedback. And so far, according to the preliminary results of the survey, it looks pretty good. Far more than 60% are overall satisfied with how the project shaped out and see it as a useful addition to their workflows. Consequently, we're quite happy to say that the city granted continuation for the project from 2021 on. And besides polishing it and further integration of analytical functions and data, which would be the natural extension of what we did before, we intend to delve more into simulation modules and features from now on. So CoSI 2 will, on the one side integrate well-established prognosis modules based on statistics, and on the other hand, try out more explorative and experimental tools to help planners get a better grasp of the fast evolving urban dynamics of the future. Thanks.